Welcome to another edition of the Burrow podcast. I'm your host, Josh, and back with me today is Mark Rayner. Mark, how are you feeling after that win?
Yeah, really good, mate. Always better to celebrate a win rather than commiserate a loss, mate. But I thought the boys played really well. I thought the effort was there. I thought they worked well together, and we got the result against a Titans side that was equally as desperate, mate.
Yeah, true. Well, you made a prediction a fair few weeks ago. I think must have been after the Dolphins game. We did predictions when our next win would be, and I was wrong. I got very close with the Sharks. I thought the Sharks were going to be our next win, but you did say that it was the Titans, and you ended up getting that right.
Yeah, mate. I'll receive my prize in the mail, will I? It's on the way, is it?
If only you were a gambling man, you may have had some money on it.
I know, mate. I know. I stopped that many years ago because I'm not a very good gambling man.
Well, you're wearing you got a hoodie on there. You got a bit of a hoodie on there. What's that about that you're wearing today?
Oh, this one here, mate, is just it's a very rude hoodie, so I won't say it on YouTube, but it's not one of my own just yet, mate. But my merch will be coming out very, very soon. But my new business venture is up and running. Pure Strength Collective, and you're going to pop that on the screen for me, mate, during the viewing, so people can have a look. It's just about strength-based training, mental health assistance as well, and strength and conditioning through rugby league. So if anybody's interested, they can add me on Instagram, and they can send me a direct message, and I'll be more than happy to help anybody out there with anything they need.
Well, you can see below right now the Instagram handle where you can find that. That's at pure _strength _collective. So add Mark on there. You'll get to see a lot of content on there. We do look forward to what you have coming up.
Yeah, thanks, mate. It's like I said, mate, it's only in its infancy at the moment. I'll put sort of one or two up, but there'll be more coming up very soon, mate. I'll do exercise tutorials and things like that, and I'm also in the process of building the website as well. So it's fun, mate. It's not easy, but it's I'm enjoying the process.
Well, we do have another game coming up this week. It's the second week of Indigenous round. We're playing at Allianz Stadium, our true home. Few people may disagree with that, but we're back at Allianz for a home game this week against Parramatta. The team come out, and the team named is Jai Gray at fullback, Alex Johnston and Bailey Bentley-Harpe on the wings, Latrell Mitchell and Isaiah Tass in the centres, Latrell's captain. Ashton Ward, Jamie Humphries make up the halves. Sliver Harvilli and Sean Kepi are the front rows. Peter Mamazelis at the hooker, Jacob Host, Tallis Duncan on the edge, Jai Arrow as lock. On the interchange bench, we have Shakai Mitchell, Liam LeBlanc, Brandon Smith, Thomas Fletcher. 18th man is Tyrone Munro. On the extended bench, Lewis Dodd, Celestia Tata, Hazen Mellors, and Cody Walker. What do you make of that side?
Yep, pretty good, mate. I love seeing. I love how Shaq's made his way back into the 17 as well. Very interesting name down the bottom there, mate. With Cody being named on the extended. I don't know whether that's to put a little bit of razzle up Parramatta, or whether that's a legitimate chance to return.
He is a legitimate chance to return. He did say to me, I spoke to him at the game, but before the game up on the Gold Coast, and he said he's touch and go. Reports are that he trained today and he trained well, so we may see that. I mean, I guess like Latrell last week, it'll come down to captain's run to see how he is.
Yep, that's wonderful news, mate. I think we just lack a little bit of creativity in attack, mate, and the Wiz will obviously provide that for us and give us that spark, that creative spark that we've been so desperately missing over the last couple of weeks.
Well, the obvious choice would be he would come in for straight swap for Ashton Ward. I can't see any other any other things happening there. They may put Ashton Ward on the bench just in case. So you may see someone like Thomas Fletcher or Liam LeBlanc drop off the bench. That's the only thing that I see happening if Cody does play.
Yeah, you're probably right there, mate. Although I think Shaq fancies himself as a bit of a half at times, mate. So you never know, mate. I've seen that man. He's got some silky hands, mate. So I don't think you'd let us down.
True. Well, Bailey Bentley-Harpy, he had a bit of a mixed game, especially probably inexperienced with a couple of times where we got on the outside of his man. He thought he could get there and pushed in the touch. He'll learn from that, but his goal kicking was very valuable for us on the weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%, mate. He surprised me. I didn't know the kid could kick, but he kicks really, really well. But yeah, mate, that young fella, just sort of learning what it's like in the top grade. I think Tassie had probably more errors in his game than what Bailey had.
Okay, we got an issue there with Mark, but we'll keep going anyway. Hopefully he'll be back in a second. You there, Mark?
Yeah, buddy, hear me?
Yep, you're back. Sorry about that, guys.
I thought some prick just tried to call me, so had to shoo him off.
Yeah, well, that happens from time to time. Anyway, you're talking about Isaiah Tass anyway with a couple of errors. He also made a couple of crucial tackles towards the end of the game, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, mate. He did. So yeah, hence why he was rocks and diamonds on the day. But yeah, man, you know what? Like that's rugby league, mate. It happens, doesn't it? You know, sometimes you have a little bit of a bad defensive read, and you know you get punished for it. But then the next couple of sets you'll do something really, really good, and he sure did that, Tassie. So yeah, can't complain too much, mate. Like I said at the start, I thought all the boys really put in, and they tried really hard, and thankfully we got the result.
Yeah, well, you've got Pete Mamazelis. He's starting hooker. He started the other day. Thought his first stint was a little bit off, but the second stint was very good. And then you got Brandon Smith, who once he came on, he was just a class above, wasn't he?
Yeah, he sure was, mate. Yeah, he played that wonderful eyes up footy that we expect from a good dummy half, and I thought Brandon too, when he came on, mate, was he had a lot of punch out of there, and it's wonderful to see it, you know, a dummy half with a kicking game and that as well, you know. So I thought both the boys really worked well together.
Yeah, they did. And Latrell Mitchell stays in centre this week, which we didn't expect anything different with the outs that we've had. Possibly stays there for the remainder of the season, and he was our best player the other day, I thought.
Oh, by a country mile, mate. What that man can do with the football is it's phenomenal. And I thought defensively too out there he was very good. But yeah, it's what he brings in attack for us, mate, and just opens those edges up. And I mean, the lovely tap on for AJ and for AJ's try and that, like, it just, yeah, he's a freak, mate.
Yeah, well, you're speaking of another freak in Alex Johnston. Just knows where to be. He's 3 tries from equaling the record. He's Indigenous games, when he's got that jersey on, he doesn't just score 1, he scores 2, possibly 3. So we could see him equaling the record this week, and he's got a very good record against Parramatta. He scored quite a fair few tries against Parramatta. So we could find this week that he's equals the record, possibly even breaks the record this week.
Yeah, mate, absolutely. He's every chance of doing that, but I'm still going to stick by my prediction, mate, at the St George game the week after.
Well, you were doubting yourself last week, and now he scores a couple of tries. You're like, okay, I'm back on the bandwagon there. But,
I'm back, mate. I'm back on the AJ bandwagon, mate, for St George.
well, it'd be good if he got a hat trick this week. I'd love for him to get a hat trick this week because all of a sudden you're playing against the Dragons on a Thursday night, and everyone want to be there for that moment.
100%.
So the people will turn up. Latrell Mitchell's already said that he'll just give him the ball to break the record.
Yeah, that's awesome, mate. I mean, it's going to be a wonderful occasion, mate. Ken Irvine was a wonderful footballer, mate, and so is AJ. So AJ is extremely deserving of this honour when it bestows him, and hopefully we can be there for that moment, mate.
Yeah. Look, I think even if he scores 2 tries this week, I think people will be there in anticipation for the Dragons game, and hopefully it does happen. Then we get a big crowd there on a Thursday night. I know we're not going all that well performance-wise this year. We haven't had many wins, but this is a thing that's really saving this season for us fans, that we've got something to look forward to, and hopefully it does happen.
Oh yeah, mate, 100%. It's every time we watch them, it's more of give AJ the football, give AJ the football. So yeah, but you're right, mate. It's been a shining light on an otherwise disappointing sort of season for both the lads and the fans, mate. Hopefully we get to see something special from him.
Yeah, well, with all the talk of people running on the pitch, I can't see it not happening. It's just going to take one person to do it, and then someone else is going to follow, and then it's just going to be a snowball effect from there. I think we're going to see a pitch invasion once he does break it.
Oh, mate, that'd be awesome. I'd love to see a whole heap of the kids run out onto the ground and that stuff, mate. To get around him. I don't know about myself. I'd probably do a hamstring if I tried to jump the fence, mate. Can't afford to do that these days. And but so I will watch from the sidelines, mate, with a big smile on my face, but it'll be wonderful to see.
Look, what I'd love to see is a presentation set up at the end of the game to have the fans on the field at the end of the game. Wait until it's all over, let the game finish, and then have everyone on the field, have a stage there ready to present him with the game ball to do it properly, not the week after. Do it in the moment, have everyone on there. Because one thing I'd love to do, I did it for his 200th try. I was able to do it for his 200th try. I did it for his 209th try on the weekend. Took a photo right on the spot where he scored, and I'd love to do it, taking a photo on the exact spot that he scores and breaks that record.
Yeah, 100%. That's awesome, mate. Well, it's a great idea. So yeah, I agree with you 100%. Needs to be done on the night. Not a week later when the sentiment's sort of worn off a little bit. Not that it would too much.
Well, especially because it's again the week after will be against the Roosters as well at Allianz, and
exactly, mate. So, I don't know. I just think I think you're right, mate. I agree with you. It needs to be done on the night. So hopefully South have got something in reserve for him. Yeah.
Well, we'll go back to team discussion anyway. I've noticed that Hazen Miller's been named on the extended bench. I don't know if you've seen the highlights of that New South Wales Cup game and the tries that he scored. He had a monster game last week, and I don't believe he's been re-signed, or they haven't really spoken much about him, so I'm not sure they intend to. But this is a player I would love for South to persist with.
Yeah, me too, mate. He's got all the attributes to be a very good footballer. So I don't know what's going on with the club and what they have planned for him, but hopefully they can keep him around, mate. Yeah, you're right. He did have a very, very good game on the weekend, and thoroughly deserves being named on that extended bench, mate.
Yeah, well, I mean, could he be a shock inclusion and come in for Bailey Bentley Harpy? I don't think it'll happen, but I know Wayne likes to reward players that are playing well and maybe he finds his way in the side.
Could do, mate. Could do. Uncle Wayne has got tricks up his sleeve galore, mate, to fantasize and tantalize the senses, mate. So anything is absolutely possible. I wouldn't be surprised and I wouldn't be disappointed. So whatever Wayne goes with, mate, I'll be happy.
Well, I just want to touch on the New South Wales Cup game. There was a game. Sorry, I got a dog here, kind of wanting my attention. There's a game there on the weekend where we lost, and Rabbitohs Radio put a clip on the game-winning try by the Roosters. And if you ever want to argue whether we should or should not have a bunker, have a look at that try. It was a disgraceful decision. And if there was a bunker ruling on that, they'd rule within seconds, no try, although who knows with the people in it. But the bunker itself, this is the reason why we do have the bunker, to eliminate howlers like that.
Yeah, mate, 100%. And, mate, I remember when they were talking about, putting chips in the ball and all that sort of stuff to rule on forward passes and all that sort of, like, why not? If the technology is available, bloody use it. Like, Jesus, we've come a long way in rugby league, mate, and with everything that's available to us these days. So yeah, I'm a big fan of using as much technology as possible, mate, as long as they're getting all those calls right. Like, you imagine if that happened in a grand final, mate, you know what I mean? Like, that's...
You're right. I mean, we do have the technology in first grade. It's not going to happen in New South Wales Cup. They're not going to spend money on it, but it's just, I hear a lot of people a lot of times saying, get rid of the bunker. And getting rid of the bunker, you're going to see a lot more of howlers than what we do have.
Yeah, no, I get it, mate. Like, and I mean, but back in the day, mate, we just like you copped it. You know what I mean? Like, it was one referee, and there was no technology to be seen. But then you'd hear Rexy Mossop and then blokes arguing up in the commentary box on whether it was a try or not. Like, sometimes I really miss those days, mate. You know what I mean? Where the referee just makes a call and that's that, and you slash his tyres in the car park after the game if it was a bad one, So, but yeah, mate, I don't know, but yeah, I think you're right, mate. The bunker's got to stay. It's here, and it is when it's used correctly. It's a great tool.
Well, we've got the Cody's weekly stats, so hit it, Cody.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Cody's Weekly Stats. This week in round 24, Indigenous round, we take on the Parramatta Eels at Allianz Stadium, kicking off at 7:35 p.m. Saturday. There have been 136 games between the Rabbitohs and Eels, 77 to the Rabbitohs, 56 to Parramatta, and 3 draws thrown in there. Rabbitohs have won 8 of the last 9 games against the Eels. Our last 9 games between each other have resulted in the winning team winning 13 plus. Since 2020, we have scored 300 points against the Eels, which is an average of 33 points per game. And we have conceded 142 points dating back to 2020 as well, which is an average of 16 points conceded per game between 2020 and last year. Gerald Sutton is the referee for this game. Our last 3 games, Gerald Sutton has ref against the Eels and the Rabbitohs. We have scored 38 points and we have won all those 3 games. Our last draw, which was against the Eels, funny enough, was 16-all back at Addercall Stadium back in 2009, and we have not had a draw since then. And Eels were the lucky team. We drew with the highest attendance between the Rabbitohs and Eels, 54,626 in 1965 in the minus 70 final, where we won 17-2 in the at the SCG in the minus 70 final. Biggest loss against the Eels, 54-0 in 2002 at the old Parra Stadium. The biggest win against them, 56-6 in 2011 at a core stadium, where Nathan Merritt scored 5 tries in that game. And speaking of scoring records. AJ has scored 3 hat-tricks between 2020 and 2022 in each of the Indigenous rounds. Now, should he get a hat-trick once again, he will tie the record with Kent Irvine, setting up an amazing display to get that final record against the Dragons. Anyways, guys, go to Rabbitohs.
Thank you, Cody. We're playing Parramatta this week, and as Cody alluded to, we've got a really good recent record against them. We've got a even over the last 15 years, our record against them has been very good. We seem to be a bit of a bogey side for them, although playing at Allianz, pardon me, we did lose our only game against them at Allianz. We haven't yet to win a regular season game at Allianz. The only 2 games we've won at Allianz has been both the semi-finals. So, I mean, they're the games you'd prefer to win overall, but it'll be good to get a win there, have a good crowd there. But what do you make of the Eels side at the moment?
Oh, they're playing good football. Mitch Moses, mate, and oh geez, his name eludes me.
Blaze Talangi?
Yeah, Talangi, that's him, mate. There.
He's not. Where is he?
He's Penrith, isn't he? The other Tuolangi or whatever his name is.
You mean Joash Papali'i, the fullback?
Sorry, yes, Joash Papali'i. That's him, mate. I knew it was one of those Islander lads. But
an interesting name there on their extended bench is Isaiah Iongi, who's played was killing it, and he was injured for a while, so he could be a chance of playing as well. But Joash Papali'i, he hasn't missed a beat since he's moved to fullback either.
Nah, mate, they got weapons all over the place, mate. You got Zach Lomax, and you got the Fox out there as well. And has Brown been named?
Yes, he's playing centre.
So, okay, yep. So he's going to be dangerous out there as well, mate. So they got couple of big boppers up front, mate, and they got a pretty good back row. So yeah, they're going to be dangerous, mate.
Yeah, look, you've also got Footy Dean Hawkins playing in it, partnering Mitch Moses in the halves, and he's had a very good year for like. He spent a lot of time in New South Wales Cup, taking this opportunity with 2 hands, and it's just great to see him playing some consistent football.
Yeah, it is, mate. He's he was always a goer, always tried his heart out. Gave 100% of what he had every single time he took the field, mate. And I'm pleased for him, mate. He's having a wow of a year.
Yeah, well, another South junior playing for them that he went there mid-season, and he's added a lot to their side as well. Is Dylan Walker?
Yep. Dill Walks, mate. He's he's just one of those blokes, mate. You can't take your eyes off him. Because if you give him half an inch, mate, he'll take a mile on you. He's still a classy footballer. Even though he's getting on a little bit now, but he's still very, very dangerous, mate, and certainly one to watch.
Well, we're playing at Allianz Stadium this week. The Burrow's in Bay 30. You can get tickets through Ticket Tech. There's still tickets available. For the Burrow members, remember this is the Burrow members only. You can use your card to gain access. You don't need to do anything. Reserve seated people who have their season tickets reserve seated will need to redeem their tickets. You would have received an email from the club, so just check your emails to make sure you do redeem your tickets. We really do need a big crowd out there. This is something I'd love to get above 25,000. Last time we played there, we got over 27,000, which was our second biggest regular season crowd outside of the Good Friday games. It's been the second biggest regular season crowd we've had. So this is a good opportunity, especially for those who are pro Allianz, to get out there and show that this is where a lot of people want to be.
Yeah, mate, 100%. There's no reason, and what better way to show your support for the eventual move to Allianz and with voting with your feet out there. So all the members and supporters that are out that way, make sure you do get out to Allianz and support the boys.
Yeah, well, the one thing that there's a bit of a worry about, there's been a bit of concerns, is the playing surface. It seems to be dry for the rest of the week, maybe a little bit of showers here and there, but there seems to be no real heavy rain around up until game time anyway, which will be good. But they're also playing on Friday night on there, so it'll be interesting to see if the surface holds up.
Yeah, well, mate, yeah, absolutely. And, more to the point, hopefully neither team gets any injuries out of it if it is chopped up a bit, mate. So anyway, I'm sure the curators at Allianz will do a job for it, and the boys will both teams will have a good surface to play on.
Well, you mentioned injuries there, and there was a bit of talk going around that Cam Murray and Keon Koloamatangi were going to be named this week, but that was shown to be incorrect. But I believe that Cam Murray will be available next week for the Dragons game. Keon probably be ready for the last game of the year. So we are getting players back on deck too little, too late. I'm not sure the return date of Ewan Aiken. I think he'll probably be right for the last game. Lockie Hubner, he suffered a head knock last week, so it's just a 1 week stand down for him. So he'll be back and available the following week against the Dragons as well. So guys like Junior, Davey, they're gone for the season. They won't be back. So we've got a few troops returning, which will be good to finish the season strong.
Yeah, especially in that last game, mate. That's that'll be a cracking last game if we can get some troops on deck, and I wouldn't mind finishing their season up nice and miserably. But they're a class outfit too, mate. The Chooks, and they've been playing some really good football as well as of late, mate. And they're well coached, well prepared. They're going to be extremely dangerous, mate. But it'd be nice to have some more troops out there to face them. That's for sure.
Well, I forget who said it. They were talking about it. I think Matthew Johnson was one of them, and they were talking. I seen a little snippet of it. And they were talking about a scenario where Roosters needed to win by 24 to get into the finals. South had the ball with 30 seconds to go right in front, kicking a field goal just to get them out. Would South do it? Imagine a scenario they did that.
Yeah, I don't know, mate. That'd probably be something that Trell would certainly enjoy doing, mate. That sounds right up. It sounds right up his alley, mate. But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
In all honesty, I don't think that would be a possibility, because we are playing them on the Friday night. So I think there's a few scenarios there that would need to happen after that. So I don't think we'll get our wish in that case. But it'd be funny to end their season and losing by 23 points. That'd be.
Oh, well, mate. Hey, one of these years we might have to call on that very thing, mate. So, but
hopefully not. Yeah.
Friday night, mate. Against them at Allianz, mate. Doesn't get any bigger than that. So, you look forward to that, talking about that in that podcast, mate.
No, definitely. There's been a couple of signing rumours. We spoke about David Fifita. That just keeps getting stronger and stronger. And we've seen at the end of the game, David Fifita embracing Latrell at the end. So they got a few more tongues wagging. But it'll be interesting to see if that does eventuate.
Yeah, certainly, mate. I mean, it doesn't go quiet. It just keeps doing the rounds. So there has to be something in it. And there was also a whisper about Adam Elliott or something like that as well.
Well, that was the other one that I was going to talk about, because I was told about Adam Elliott a while ago, and I took it with a grain of salt, and it just, nothing came of it. And all of a sudden it's just really come out again. So I guess Wayne's looking for some hard, experienced forward to come in, maybe play the liver sort of role, can play lock, can play prop, can play edge. I'm not a massive fan of it. He's out injured at the moment, so he'd probably fit in well at our club at the moment. But look, you never know what can happen. These a lot of times, some of these signings you see that you just kind of don't rate ends up being a good thing. So I guess it's a wait and see.
Yeah, mate, absolutely. Oh, look, I don't know. I'd probably rather go all in on Fafita, to be honest, mate, and bring a couple of hard nosed edge forwards up from the lower grades, mate. Like the two lads that are on the bench for us this weekend have been doing an outstanding job, mate. So I'd probably rather re-sign that young Fletch lad, and rather than chasing Adam Elliott, to be honest. But yeah, if they're going to go after somebody, mate, I'd certainly like to see Big Dave in the red and green. I think he'd be a massive impact for us. Change of scenery, you do him good under Coach Wayne, and I think he'd bring out the best in him.
Yeah. Well, the talk is that the Titans will be throwing a fair bit of coin in the deal. So who knows? Like you hear all sorts of rumours, and most of the rumours that you hear just go to the wayside. They don't eventuate, or they'll never a thing. But this one with David Fafita has been around for a little bit of time now. So
maybe what we can do, mate, is we can send them Lewis Dodd, and they send us David Fafita.
Well, yeah. Well, Lewis Dodd, he pulled out last week. He didn't play the New South Wales Cup game, so he's named on the extended bench this week. I don't see a world where, I mean, Ashton Ward is another one who's now leapfrogged him, and then you got Matt Humphries next year. He'll be on a development contract, so he's another one that'll be in front of him next year. So it's just a case of can we get some coin for him? I think that's what it's going to be. Who's willing to throw and make the damage as minimal as possible for us? We are going to have to take up some of his contract the next 2 years. But if someone say someone decides to want him for $400,000, that'll be a lot better. We can get a decent forward for that, a decent prop for that sort of coin.
Yeah, 100%, mate. And Lewis, if you're watching, mate, I don't know if you've ever been on the Glitter Strip, mate, but get up there for a visit, son. You'll love it. So outstanding.
Yeah, well, he wasn't up there last week. We know that.
Well, mate, you'll have to get up there in the off season, Louis, and check it out, mate.
Yeah. Well, we'll go back to playing Parramatta this week. We've got a long history of playing against them. But what are some of your most memorable games against Parramatta?
Not too many in the 80s and 90s, mate. That's for sure. But mate, I don't know. For me, mate, I can't go past Merrow's 5 tries against them that night, and I was watching it. I was watching it at young Timmy Hawkins's house. My good young mate who passed away back in 2014 from the wheelchair footy. And he's a mad Para supporter, mate. So that was nice to have a bit of banter, because usually they were the ones slapping us around. So it was nice to get one on him, mate. He wasn't very impressed with me that night, young Timmy.
Yeah, that was a Monday night game, and it ended up being 56-6. That's our biggest win against Parramatta. That was a great game, and it was it Luke Burgess made the break right at the end and passed on the inside to him to score his 5th, right on the final, basically last play of the game. It was
pretty much, yeah. And I just remember like Timmy's face, like he was just here setting his hand. Like that. It was one of those nights, mate, where it just went from bad to worse for him, mate. But,
well, do you remember? Was it 1992? We won 15-2 against Parramatta, and it was out at Parramatta Stadium. Do you know who kicked the field goal?
Oh, it was a forward, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was 30 metres out as well, and he wasn't right in front either. And it was just he just got the ball on the last and decided, well, what the hell? I'll just kick a field goal.
Oh. Nah. I know it was a fault.
Spud.
Oh, it was Carroll. Yeah, it was
Mark
Carroll. Yeah, it was Spud. That's right. That's right. It was too. Spud Carroll, you lunatic. Outstanding.
Oh, it was. I remember I was at that game. I was right on the halfway line, and I was there with my mate Darren, who another guy that was wheelchair. He was in a wheelchair, and he passed away back in '99. But yeah, that was one of the games. He was a mad Bulldogs fan, and once Super League happened, he decided, "Nah, stuff this." He started going for Newcastle, but no, he was always he was always a Bulldogs fan. He'd be loving seeing how the Bulldogs are going now. But he did have a soft spot for South because of me, and he came to a few games. So, but that was one game that I do remember well because not only seeing Spud kick it, but being there with Darren, it was one of the things that I always remember. But 2012, if you remember, at the end of 2011, Chris Sanday left us. Adam Reynolds came in. There was two games. The first one.
Yep.
Remember, there was we beat them 38-6, and poor Chris Sanday had GI's handprint on his chest. He put a kick through. GI picked it up and just palmed him off.
That was that was outstanding, mate. That was fantastic to watch that, mate. And I think to this day, I think that the handprint's still there on little Chrissy.
Oh God, JB Sauer's still got his handprint on GI, and Lachlan Coote as well, where he just ran over the top of it.
Sure do, yeah. They've had them tattooed, mate, on the chest as mementos.
Yeah, well, the same year, if you remember, we were up 18-6, and GI put a pass out. Chris Sanday running the length of the field for the intercept. It looked like he was going to score, but Adam Reynolds just came across and at the last second tackled him the touch.
Yeah,
and because that was a Parramatta home game at ANZ Stadium back then, Accor Stadium now, but we were down where the away supporters were and that, and I remember we were just cheering. We were singing, "You can stick your Chrissy Sanday up your ass," and we just giving it to him.
But that was hilarious, mate. It was just like two tiny little legs just like racing against each other, mate.
Okay. Sorry, I'm back now. Sorry about that. The joys of that run out. So anyway.
The little microphone, mate. Yeah. I think mine went on the fritz too. That's all right, buddy.
I can still hear you anyway. So, but anyway, I was going back to that, the semi-final against Parramatta in 2020. Clint Gutherson scores right in front of where we were, and he does his little dance. And all the South fans are, a bit annoyed giving it to him. But then later in that game, we put a kick through, and he tries to clean it up. He didn't try to tap it out. He tried to clean it up. It went belly up. Bailey Sirenen just lands in his lap, scores a try. The whole crowd there, all the South fans, right where he gave it to us, we're all there going like that.
Doing the Gutherina, mate. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, so
good times, brother.
So that happened anyway, and we end up winning. We end up winning that 38-24. I think there was three games in a row from 2020 to 2021 where we scored exactly 38 points. It was 3 games in a row, and then the fourth game was, I think that was up on the Gold Coast because it was in 2021. We ended up scoring 40 on them. That's where Adam Reynolds broke the club record for most points in a game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, mate. We've had some there's been some wonderful moments watching this club, mate, and I've got a feeling there's quite a few more around the corner, mate. We just have to be patient and let them do their thing, and we'll be back where we belong in no time.
Yeah, well that's it. And this year's closing fast. We're not far off from our final games. We've got this week. We've got Parramatta, as I said. We're in Bay 30. There's also Bay 29 there is a GA section. We have something very special planned this week, so we need all hands on deck. We need as many people there as possible. Then the following week we're back home for our final home game against the Dragons at Accor on the Thursday night, and then we have the week off for the bye, and then finally back at Allianz for our final game of the season against the Roosters.
Cracking. Bring it on.
Well, we'll be in Bay 25 for that game. I've mentioned that before. Pardon me. We won, or technically we lost the Spoon Bowl, didn't we? Because, but we won that game, and I still don't think we're safe from the Spoon yet. With our inferior points differential, that could be an issue. Although having the bye does give us a little bit of breathing space. I think we need to win one more game to avoid that.
Let's just win all of them, mate. Much easier than worrying about the rest of it, mate. Just win the rest of the games for the rest of the year, and you don't have to worry about that. And you might even find you climb up to, 13th or something like that instead. So
that's it.
Just keep winning, boys. That's all you got to do. Be a nice way to end a disappointing season, mate, with 4 on the bounce. So yeah, that'd be great.
That's it. You coming to the game this week?
We're going to try to, mate. We're going to try to, but I do think my mum's got a birthday dinner on Saturday, mate. So that might decide for me. But yeah, it's her birthday today, mate. So if you're watching, Mum, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Janet. I've already sent you a message on Facebook, but it's even better. We'll send you one out here. So hope you're having a wonderful day.
Thanks, buddy. Champion.
Yeah. Well, we've as I said, we've only got a few more games left. Big game this week. It'll be good to get the win, and we prefer doing these after a win. They're a lot better, aren't they?
Yeah, they're way more fun. Not that they're not fun after a loss, but yeah, it just feels a hell of a lot better after a win, pal.
Yeah, well, we apologise for the technical difficulties that we've had there. Unfortunately, these things happen when you're recording. First it was Mark with people trying to ring him, then my battery on I forgot to charge the battery on the mic, but those things happen. And but yeah, make sure you do like and subscribe. We appreciate you guys watching. We also enjoy meeting a lot of you guys out there. I met a few more on the weekend that come up and spoke about the podcast and how they enjoy watching it. But any last thoughts, Mark?
No, mate. I just think just get out there, lads. Do your best. We're right behind yous, and yeah, just have a massive crack. That's all we ask.
Yeah. Well, prediction for this week.
Bunnies 18-16.
Oh, 18-16. I'm predicting an AJ hat trick.
Oof, you mate, outstanding. I love you.
Set it up perfectly for you to get you another prediction right.
That'd be magnificent, mate. I'm very excited for the game anyway, mate. Should be a cracker.
Well, anyway, that leaves us for today. I've got to go and pick Patty up from work now anyway. Otherwise she'll be you'll be
in the doghouse, mate.
Yes. So but anyway, it's been a great chatting to you today, Mark, as usual. I'm your host, Josh, joined by Mark. Go the Rabbitohs.
Go the Rabbitohs.